What if I told you that the next big SEO skill is not keyword research, not backlinks, and not even content optimization in the old sense? What if the future of SEO looks less like traditional marketing and more like engineering? Because that's exactly where we are headed. In the age of AI search, retrieval is becoming the real battleground, and the people who understand retrieval engineering will have a massive advantage. Today, search is no longer just about matching words. It's about matching meaning, context, intent, and source quality. And that changes everything for SEOs, content strategists, and brands trying to stay visible in AI driven search experiences. Welcome back to the show. In this episode, I want to unpack a concept that is quietly becoming one of the most important skills in modern SEO: retrieval engineering. This is the skill of making content easier for machines to find, understand, chunk, embed, retrieve, and cite. Search is no longer just ranking pages, it is increasingly retrieving passages, entities, and structured answers from across the web. That's why many SEO practitioners are now talking about SEO as retrieval context engineering rather than just keyword optimization. Why SEO is changing? Let's start with the big shift. Traditional SEO was mostly about page level signals, titles, headers, links, keywords, and technical crawlability. That still matters, but now it's only one layer of the stack. Search engines and AI systems increasingly rely on semantic understanding, vector representations, and passage level retrieval to decide what to show users. That means your content is not just being evaluated as a page, it is being broken into pieces, converted into meaning based representations, compared against a query, and surfaced if it matches the user's intent. This is why many practitioners are calling the future of SEO a retrieval problem, not just a ranking problem. And that's why the SEO job starts to resemble engineering. Not because marketers need to become hardcore developers overnight, but because they need to understand how retrieval systems work. They need to think about structure, semantics, data modeling, entity relationships, and how content is parsed by machines. Here's the line I want you to remember: future SEOs may look like engineers, not because they stop writing or strategizing, but because they need to design content systems that can be retrieved reliably by both search engines and AI assistants. That means understanding how content is stored, chunked, indexed, and semantically represented. It also means thinking in terms of information architecture, structured knowledge, and machine readability. Think about how a developer approaches an app. They don't just ask, does it look good? They ask, does the system work, scale, and return the right output under different inputs? Retrieval engineering pushes SEO in that same direction. You're no longer just writing for humans, you are architecting content for systems that retrieve answers. That's especially important now because AI search experiences are making summaries, citations, and answer extraction more visible. Recent industry content in 2026 repeatedly points toward AI visibility, semantic relevance, and structured content as the skills that will matter most. Embeddings made simple. Now let's talk about embeddings because this is one of the most important ideas in retrieval engineering. An embedding is basically a numerical representation of meaning. Instead of comparing text by exact words, systems convert content into vectors so they can compare semantic similarity. In simple terms, embeddings help machines understand that best shoes for running and top sneakers for jogging are closely related even if the words don't match exactly. This is a huge deal for SEO. Why? Because search has moved beyond string matching. It's about meaning matching. And once your content is represented as embeddings, it can be compared against queries, competitor pages, AI summaries, and internal knowledge bases in a much more intelligent way. Here's the practical takeaway: if your content is semantically thin, it may not be retrieved well. If it's rich, contextually complete, and clearly structured, it becomes easier for machines to understand what it is about and when to surface it. Now let's move to chunking, another concept SEO professionals need to understand. Chunking is the process of breaking content into smaller, meaningful segments. In retrieval systems, this matters because large pages are not always retrieved as one single block. Instead, systems often pull specific sections, passages, or chunks that best answer a query. That means your article, landing page, or guide should be designed with retrieval in mind. Each section should be able to stand on its own. The headings should be descriptive, the paragraphs should be focused. The content should answer one clear idea at a time. When you chunk content well, you improve the chances that the right passage gets surfaced for the right query. For SEOs, this changes how we write. We're no longer just building pages. We're building a network of retrievable meaning units. That's why section structure, semantic headings, entity coverage, and internal linking all matter more than ever. What retrieval systems want. So, what does a retrieval system actually want? It wants clarity, it wants relevance, it wants enough semantic context to know that your content is the right answer, and it wants trust signals that support inclusion or citation. That's why modern SEO increasingly overlaps with structured data, entity optimization, crawl accessibility, and source credibility. This is also why technical SEO is becoming more important, not less. Basic crawlability used to be the foundation. Now, advanced technical SEO includes rendering strategy, structured data, entity modeling, and performance engineering. Recent 2026 SEO guidance explicitly calls out vector databases, AI literacy, and technical SEO 2.0 as important areas of mastery. In plain English, retrieval systems reward content that is easy to parse, easy to trust, and easy to map to a user's intent. What this means for content strategy. This is where content strategy gets exciting. If retrieval is a new SEO battleground, then content strategy must evolve from write a page to design retrievable knowledge. That means building content clusters, writing passage ready sections using entity rich language, and structuring content so it can be repurposed across search, AI summaries, and internal knowledge systems. It also means that keyword research alone is no longer enough. You still need it, but now you also need semantic gap analysis, topic clustering, and content structuring around user intent. Vector embeddings can help identify related concepts even when the wording is different, which is why they're increasingly used for content gap analysis and internal linking workflows. So instead of asking which keyword should I target, ask what meaning space am I trying to own? Latest industry direction. The latest industry trend is clear. SEO is becoming more AI aware, more semantic, and more technical. In 2026, SEO skill lists are increasingly emphasizing AI and machine learning literacy, structured content, entity based optimization, and workflows that support AI search visibility. There's also a clear shift toward what some experts are calling retrieval context engineering. The idea is simple: brands must make themselves retrievable in the context where AI systems look for answers, not just in blue link search results. At the same time, vector embeddings are being used in real workflows for tasks like internal linking, topic clustering, and content similarity analysis. So the market is telling us something. The winners will not just be good writers, they'll be people who understand systems, semantics, and retrieval logic. So, yes, retrieval engineering is the new SEO skill. And yes, future SEOs may look like engineers. Not because creativity is disappearing, but because the rules of visibility are becoming more technical, more semantic, and more systems driven. If you understand embeddings, chunking, retrieval, and entity architecture, you won't just keep up with the future of SEO, you'll be ahead of it.